Good morning. Joe Hop here, Outlook USA. I'm going to do something a little different this morning. I'm just going to give my views on something, my observations, and then I'm going to look out from those observations and draw some conclusions. And this is just my view of things. I don't think anybody's right or wrong. I really don't. It's sort of like I hope I'm wrong, but it doesn't matter if you believe me or not, because over the next year it's going to happen anyway, or two, tops. Europe is like up in flames. It's up in flames. Don't make no mistake about it. It's on the verge of a catastrophe. All right? Here's how I see it now. I don't know what happened over the last 30 years. Horrible forces. So, they've established beachheads. They've established beachheads in all the European countries. The Islamic State has. And I look at Brussels and the EU and Merkel and others as the most corrupt politicians on the face of the earth. Brussels, the European Union, Merkel, some in the UK, all over the place. But the people are starting to wake up. All right, so the Islamic State has established beachheads in all but Hungary, Poland, and other Eastern European countries that had the good sense to close the doors on immigration. Okay, so now they have a beachhead, several of them, and they have a Neville Chamberlain. They have leaders weaker than Neville Chamberlain, and Neville Chamberlain wasn't corrupt. They're the corruptest politicians ever, and they're weaker than Neville Chamberlain. At looking at the truth and focusing. So, they've established beachheads. Okay? The Islamic State. This is, we got homelands too, There's homelands. Neanderthal, Europe. That's my homeland. This ain't about color. All my black friends know it's not about color right now. It's about something worse. There's nothing bad about color. Color's bullshit. It's about ideology and culture. Get off the color, you idiots. So, they've got beachheads. The citizens of European countries are taxed to death. They barely make it. They can only have a kid or two if they're lucky because they're busy. Yet the policies on the Islamic refugees and immigrants is welfare, and they can have as many kids as they want. The tipping point on the population of Europe is very, very close at hand. And if that tipping point occurs, do you really think that the people of Europe are going to live in an Islamic state? They're going to compromise themselves to Sharia, to law enforcement that doesn't let them speak their minds? All the while, the real enemy, they came in on little boats and across land, and they're settling. They're not becoming European at all. They are not becoming European, and they never will, because they're run by the crazy, conservative, worst bastards in the world. The Sharia Islamic men. Sharia Islamic men is the problem, not American door-holding men. And we're going to end up in a war in Europe. It's inevitable. And it's such a horrible thing because it's not going to be a war like Germany, where you had fronts and you had countries and you had borders. It's going to be a massive, ugly skirmish. That unless you, and I'm just saying, this is how I look at it. This is how, you can scoff at me all you want, but your scoffing's not going to change a thing. And when it comes there, it's coming here. So, and there's other bad things going on around in the world. South Africa is very bad right now. Very bad. What the leaders of the African National Conference are saying about the white farmers, the millions of them, is 10 times worse than what the white farmers said about whatever they did during apartheid. I don't know. It was shitty, but maybe it was a culture clash, people. You know, culture clash is deadly. That we have one culture in this country. It's American. You bring over other cultures. Listen, I'm not a racist. I'm a realist. And this is just my opinion. But my opinion doesn't matter if you watch Europe for the next year, because I hope I'm wrong. But what's going on in Europe right now is the worst, most... They're conquerors. I'm sorry. It's an Islamic State, not a Catholic church or a Jewish temple. It's an Islamic State. And you liberals and progressives, and you globalists, and you fucking lying bastards, all of yous are a bunch of lying bastards. There's not many truth tellers anymore in this world. I'll tell you that. I'm one of them. Now, you can call me anything you want, because I swear to God, I hope I'm wrong. But the odds are in my favor that I'm right. And a war between civilizations in and amongst each other is the worst kind of war there could possibly ever be. A war between clashing civilizations amongst each other with no borders. That's musical chairs with one seat, folks. That's musical chairs with one seat. It hurts me. It actually hurts me. The news has hurt me for the last 4 years. I've been sickened by it. That's why I'm on here, because I've been so sickened by it, sickened by all of it. There's a handful of good guys, I'm telling you, a handful in our government from both sides. I've never seen anything like it. I'm going to digress for a minute. The FBI, you know, I just met an FBI agent the other day. Nice guy. I never mentioned nothing to him. I said, wow, impressive. It is impressive. You got to be like a lawyer. But the fucking people at the top of that agency and at the Justice Department are the most disgusting, despicable people in the world. I haven't passed judgment on the FISA court judges yet, because I don't know about the FISA court judges yet. But I can tell you this, that I've never seen anything like the partisanship from the left. In my life, you know, just let me tell you, I've been a Republican all my life and a conservative. And I've been a muckraker all my life. But I've never had an enemy in my life except my daughter's stepfather. That's another story altogether. In my whole life. Until Obama came into office and I moved to the Keys. I'm an unpopular person because of my beliefs. And the thing is that the way I talked when I got here was the same way I've talked all my life, you know? And apparently the way I talked all my life became some crossed line, you know, that got me in squabbles and knocked around a bit. And it's the same line I've had all my life. I didn't cross anybody's line. They moved their line over mine. That's all it is, folks. Oh, I tell you what, that was about my problems that I've had in the Keys. I digressed for a minute. But it's all true. And we need to come together now. We're going to watch the mistakes of Europe transpire in front of our eyes, and we're going to have to make some choices. They're going to be hard choices. Depending on the shape we're in when it happens, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. But they're making a move now. I've never seen anything like it. Citigroup, Google, Facebook, March for My Lives, taking high school kids to Washington to protest. You fucking idiots. I'm sorry. That's not for high school kids. They're not even old enough to vote yet, and you're public servants. It ain't your business to indoctrinate those children. Who the hell do you think you are? You're not their parents. You're their teachers. So teach them. And get out of the politics, you leftists, you idiots. I have a friend I don't have a friend anymore. I had a friend who's a teacher, and he's a prick. He's a total prick. You know? He is. One word a year, I don't know, something. He knew I was a Republican. I think there was one word mentioned between us. And he called all Republicans, he said, that's because you're all stupid. If we're all so stupid, then why do you always make our lives so much harder, you know? Because the longer you wait to reverse the course of these policies, you know who's going to suffer? Well, in Europe, everybody's going to suffer. Everybody's going to suffer. In the United States, it's going to be the young men and some of the young women. I don't know, you know, financially it's going to be everybody. But when I mean suffer, I mean people are going to sacrifice a lot for this country if we make the right decisions. And, you know, every liberal I talk to, I don't even talk to them, I just listen to them sometimes. They're like talking about like personalities of people. Personalities of pundit Republicans and politicians. Personalities? What do you mean you know, like, they just don't like them because they're like uncool or just like unpolished in a way that a academia limousine liberal would have you think they should be polished. So anyway, I'm off target, I'm off point, but I don't care. It's going to be ugly moving forward quickly. Unfortunately, it's so ugly now with millions of gang rapes and 750,000 women genital mutilation. 750,000 women in Europe. Minnesota, same shit's going on. Hundreds of thousands, I'll bet you. And you watch and you look at the pattern in Europe of the law enforcement not going after the loudest, most dangerous guys. That's what's been going on. They're so weak. They'd rather go after the old lady on the computer calling them Islamics or whatever she wants to call them, or go after the guy out in the street, the Pakistani men out in the streets of the United Kingdom, gang raping hundreds of thousands of minor female children, British children. Fathers get arrested for going to get their child out of a gang rape house. 11-year-old girl in a gang rape house was arrested for public intoxication with the 15 men naked around her, and she was arrested. A father and his son, while raping a minor child in the United Kingdom, took the girl's cell phone and called her father to tell him what was going on. It's sad stuff. And they're not even emboldened yet. Oh my God. When they get emboldened, it's going to be horrible. You know, the feminists in this country, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to make it hard for your sons and grandsons with the policies you've been putting forth. I'm telling you, you're going to make it hard for your grandsons because they've established multiple beachheads. The demographics are radically and swiftly shifting. It's just a matter of if you want to give that place up or not to somebody else. What are you going to do? Come over here? Where are you going to go? Iceland? Greenland? You know, when they get the majority of the politicians, that'll be it. Sharia law right there. Guaranteed. Immediately. Immediately. It's already there. They're bold about it. But when they have the house and the nukes and the weapons arsenals and the ships and the planes and the money, do whatever they want. Like they're going to do in South Africa right now. Different people, different situation. I don't get the South Africa thing. Because I don't think we have a black-white problem in this country. I don't think we do. In fact, I think my brothers right now, my black fucking brothers, let's pull it together, huh? Help those guys in the inner cities understand what's going on in this country. Help them. Because we can't. But you can. I love you guys, man. You see it. It's our culture. It's the age of Aquarius. We can get back to that. I'm not a regressive. I'm just not a progressive up a cliff. Thank you. Love you all. Don't like you all. And there's a couple of you that it's really tough to love. A couple. Not many. Very few. But a couple. Chilly today. Bicycle ride, very good. Short, but painful. Out on Middle Torch Road. And I don't know where Mary is. But have a lovely day.